You know what's more healthy than drinking tap water? Drinking.
Testing. I was actually running the footage of the last episode we recorded, and this is actually my fault. Is that because I usually talk with the microphone like the same distance you are, but my voice is actually significantly quieter than yours, so I have some editing cut out for me. Because you hear the footage of yours and it's like peaking, and for me it's like barely halfway.
Do you think it's the way that our voices and how we talk?
Yeah, it's like the frequency, I think, is the right term.
I'm sorry, where you said I'm picturing or whatever sound like I'm fucking controlling dolphins telekinetically.
Uh-huh.
I'm Aquaman.
Yeah, so I have to not try to avoid eating the mic and just keeping a fair distance between,
Yeah.
Just try not to deep throat it, but it's still not be on the other side of the room.
You know that there are streamers who have microphone dildos?
Oh, I'm not even a little bit surprised. The Twitch thought pandemic is alive and well.
Yeah.
But I had some talking points that I sent to you.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Monkey Bar. In case you didn't already know, that this is the program that you are watching. It's been we're in right at the tail end of April, almost halfway through the year, and I already hate it. I've just had my work cut out for me lately. I'm trying to be creative, trying to get my comics taken care of. I seem to be in sort of a lull lately. I don't know about you. But
I've been similar. I've also been dealing with some fucking reoccurring headache issues. That's been fucking fun.
Yeah, I've had an ear infection. I think it might be going away finally. If I start hurting again in the next week, then I'll schedule an appointment with a specialist. But that was going on for more than a month, and it seems it was going on since the beginning of April, and it feels like it's finally clearing up at least somewhat. So yeah. I'm hoping that's gone forever. I'm hoping that I don't have the fungus. You heard about that?
The what?
The super fungus.
The what?
Yeah, there's this incurable or hard to treat fungus that's been going around that kills 30% of the people that get it. Oh, so we're now living in The Last of Us.
Okay, if that's fucking happening, here's what you do. You get your daughter, sacrifice her, and you get a second daughter. That'll last you a couple of weeks longer. Rotate out the amount of child figures you can hold in front of a machine gun.
Yeah, you gotta practice to be a sad dad.
Sad dad is unironically one of my favorite genres in a way.
I don't know.
No, because the memes that can come from sad
dad.
Well, yeah,
the memes, obviously,
I want Kratos to be in The Last of Us. Just have him rip one of those cordyceps monsters in half.
Does Thanos qualify as a sad dad?
Yes, he does. He's double sad dad. One of his daughters is a cyborg, and the other one is Gamora.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you know those Gamorreans from Star Wars?
Star Wars. Yeah.
Do you think them and Gamora are the same species, just different genders?
Oh, yeah, the gender disparity. All the men look like disgusting pigs, and all the girls are just green-skinned humans.
That's one of the things I always loved about Warcraft, is the woman orc, green lady with tusks, man orc, fucking mongoloid monster with an axe and bear skins.
I mean, the female orcs in Warcraft are still ugly, I think.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be ugly, at least. And I guess they've gotten, slowly prettier over time.
Oh, the trolls, they had a fucking glow up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, trolls are my favorite race in Warcraft.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of trolls, I was just telling you, there's an anniversary of... the anniversary of Homestuck. I didn't realize that it's been 10 years since it went up for the first time. And the reason I was thinking about Homestuck recently was Andrew Hussey just put out an epilogue or something. I don't know if you heard about that.
I have not. I avoid Homestuck.
Yeah, but it's not it's an epilogue. It's not a comic, but it's all written. And it's like the ravings of a madman. It's basically Andrew going back and saying, all these characters are actually deranged pedophiles, and you're all stupid and idiots for being invested in this series in the first place. Fuck you all. And I don't know, it's kind of consistent with what he usually write. In terms of the way he goes about it with this, it's kind of he's always had a level of disdain for the fans.
Yeah,
so.
like is it wrong to say that it's understandable?
No, I think that's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, like his fans are some of the worst people to crawl out of the internet.
Yeah, you could argue that the Homestuck fans are responsible for creating the foundation of Tumblr as a whole.
Destroy them all! I apologize for voices. Never mind.
What were you gonna say?
I've been playing Mortal Kombat, and every fucking... Can I talk... Oh, sorry, I'm gonna talk about this first.
Sure.
But yeah, Homestuck's turned 10. Mm-hmm. I can't wait till it's old enough to drink, and Andrew, walks out with a 12-gauge shotgun holding a special convention.
Mm-hmm. Like, apparently he's still, he's still at least taking care of the site. Like, one of the last updates was him talking about updating, the Flash segments, because, modern web browsers, they don't support Adobe Flash anymore. He's converting the Flash segments, the animated stuff in the games, to HTML5. So, for, preserving them for the future. But he was also saying Homestuck was never meant to be preserved forever, so you could take it either way.
Somewhere, it makes me think of Power Rangers for some reason when they find Rita Repulsa and she rips out of the ground from the opening.
I have been awakened after 10,000 years.
That's what the Homestuck fans are.
Whenever I think about Homestuck, it kind of makes me a little bit sad for Andrew, because he was actually a promising cartoonist at one point. If you've ever read And It Don't Stop, which was actually a proper webcomic they did, it was about it was sort of a mix between BattleBots and 8 Mile, where it's you have these two rappers enter the arena, and each of them has their own pet robots. And the sicker your rhymes are, the more powerful your robot becomes.
Would Dr. Seuss be their god?
I don't know. The main character kind of looks like Eminem. He drives a flying ice cream truck, and
I need to check this shit out. Does
yeah.
it still update it?
If you Google it and it don't stop Andrew Hussey, then you'll be able to find it. Right. It's a little bit hard to find, but people some of the fans have archived it.
Andrew Hussey was really destroyed by his success in a way.
Yeah, one thing in particular is that if you look at, he did the art for one of the Homestuck albums, and you can see him, he's trying to go back to his more traditional style versus the minimalist, pixel art, and you can see him, really, really struggling to sort of go back to his more realistic proportions and stuff. It's that's what doing such a minimalist, easy to draw thing after a very long time does to you.
Imagine CalArt.
It basically is like that, where you're trained to draw in a simpler but
easy to animate style.
And then you just sort of forget how to draw more detailed stuff. It really is.
It's like forgetting how to ride a bike.
Well, you don't really forget how to ride a bike.
It's like somehow you take a major brain injury and forget to ride a bike.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm not even going to fucking lie. I hate the style of Homestuck. I honestly hate it.
Yeah.
I can't tell if it's because of the association with the characters or if I just, make them have arms and legs.
Mm-hmm. There are some panels where they have they switch to hero mode. I hate that I remember that's what it's officially called.
Sounds like something you'd see in an episode of Ben 10. Oh, we need to go hero mode on our fucking Shockinator to fight the tentacle porn guy.
Loads error 15. It went hero mode and leveled up.
God.
I actually saw some screen caps of exhibits from. No, that's Ice-T. Whatever it is, the guy from Law and Order.
Ice-T is fucking great.
Yeah, and he's just saying the dumbest shit, saying there's one where he says they got a bunch of cat litter and soy sauce and mixed it together. They call it the Brown Fury. Teenagers are going out on the streets gluing computer parts to themselves and thinking they're robots.
I fucking watch Law and Order and Law and Order SCU because I hate myself. I hate myself intently, and I watch it. They had this episode they had this thing where the villain was a sexual freak who needed a sex addict. Mm-hmm. And they had a fucking scene where it's Ice-T, the lady who's always in the assault subplot lines, and this guy. So you mean to tell me they don't just like getting freaky, but they need the D? And he's just talking. He's talking to the audience. He's saying they're talking normal, but he has to dumb it down even further for people who can't speak anything. Like Ice-T is the fucking. He might as well be talking to the audience.
And he's just looking right into the camera. Camera just zooms in on his teeth, and there's like a little brown spot on his teeth, and it just starts leaking.
Oh,
and he holds up a cup, and then the brown stuff just starts dripping into it in the cup. And he holds up the cup to the camera, and is waiting for the audience to whatever.
I am not sure what to make of that. He is made of iced tea. He's leaking.
I was gonna open up with some improv that's it's kind of redundant. Or like an oxymoron when I say like I had improv planned, where it's like, or I was gonna be like, because I was actually just thinking about Kramer from Seinfeld and how he's kind of like he has kind of the same speech pattern as the Joker, or Heath Ledger's Joker. It's like, hey,
fuck, you're right.
It's like, hey, Jerry, let me put a smile on that face. Yeah.
I want to see that now. I want to see it with Costanza as Batman, Jerry Seinfeld is Two-Face.
Kramer, you gotta tell me where the bombs are. Oh, Jerry. Oh, hey, George. I gotta get out of here. You don't have any power over me. You're hitting me all over the place. You can't really get out of me.
I'm sorry. And the guy from Jurassic Park, Wayne Knight, he fucking shows up as Bane.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Jerry, I'm trying to sneak around the comedy club, but I'm dummy thick, and the clap of my ass cheeks is alerting all the black people in the area.
Oh my fucking god, you brought that up.
Actually, that's weird because I was thinking about Kramer, and then I go on Facebook and I see like a screen cap of that from
What he said?
Yeah, or like no, it was like a meme where it's like Jerry's like panicking. He's like, I forgot, I had to pick Kramer up from the comedy club 12 hours ago, and it shows like a screenshot of that.
Oh my god. So I used to watch Seinfeld religiously. It was one of my favorite shows as a kid.
Yeah, me too, actually.
I loved George Costanza and Kramer. I didn't care much for Jerry, but Jerry's growing on me. I fucking lost faith in it after B-Movie. I saw B-Movie opening night. Mm-hmm. It was at the movie theater in town. Mm-hmm. Imagine seeing that fucking movie at midnight.
I mean, it is kind of a midnight movie when you think about it.
But before it got the status.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen like behind the scenes footage, and like it seems like Jerry Seinfeld was treating B-Movie as just a big shitpost before it was even released.
Maybe you should have said behind the beans.
Bees, not bees.
But fuck.
They should make a bean movie now, where it's just a bean who like wants to be more than a bean.
And then he is opened up in the middle of a movie theater. That's one of my favorite memes, actually.
N-word. Eating beans. Oops, I gotta censor out that. Don't want my own Kramer moment there.
God. That will be the thing that haunts you. Many years from now, you'll be getting a job as the biggest... You'll be the third house. Mm-hmm. You have completely annihilated Image Comics. And you're about to say this, and this guy says, in April, in 2019, you said this.
Oh yeah, I was talking about Homestuck.
God.
No, actually, they say the N-word in And It Don't Stop. Like, Andrew Hussey writes, because I was bringing up that on Twitter, and I'm like, I miss when Andrew Hussey made good comics. And I just posted the screenshot where there's some guy in the crowd is like, hell's just N-word. Just smoked.
God. No, do you know... Okay, I want to talk about Mortal Kombat for a bit. I got MK11. They're going to fix the grind, apparently. The grind is fucking unbelievable. Mm-hmm. It is fucking... Stone Age. Also, it has to be online or you can't get cosmetics. You know, it's WB fucked them over.
Yeah.
But I will tell you what, though, every single character who voice acts is great except for one person.
Ronda Rousey.
Let me give you we do the intro. I am Shao Kahn. I'm gonna kick your ass. What did you say, you heathenous woman? It's like that. Like, or there's even a couple things, I swear to God, they had to splice together different lines because she acts so bad.
Yeah, I saw people complaining that still that the women look gross, or like they're not like. You know what? I think I'm starting to agree with them, because I'm seeing more and more of like censorship with, especially on the PS4. Sony seems to be going rampant with.
Yeah. I don't think they're that bad. It could be way worse.
Yeah, but the question is, when is it going to get worse? Not if.
Yeah, that's, I will say this, the Faces animation's great. Like, compared to the last game, they've improved in every area. They actually look like humans and not people wearing flesh robots. The other thing is they made the characters, everyone's likable. Even Frank Welker's new Cybot. Doing the Inspector Gadget voice. Yeah, that's my MK wrap-up. And apparently the story mode's going to make big changes, whatever that means.
I wonder if it has something to do with the Jax's ending.
Oh, what?
The where he like frees the slave, goes back in time and like...
That fucking happens?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. I don't play Jax. I don't like... Jax is weird in how he plays. I am a fucking Shao Kahn main. Shao Kahn, like, one of his moves may as well be he puts you in a neck hold and says, "You suck." Also, my lowest moment as a person is I name my Cassie Cage variation CBT because of all the nutbuster moves.
Yeah, but yeah, there was like Jax's ending is where he goes back in time and like stops whites from colonizing Africa, and then Africa turns into Wakanda or something. I don't know. Like, from what I understand, it's meant to be like played as a joke, but people were still getting upset over it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm not planning on buying it, so I don't really care.
It's a good game if you like fighters.
Yeah.
I will say Shao Kahn has the best ending. Basically, I have taken every possibility timeline and made the perfect timeline. And they show the character Takeda, who everyone's been waiting to see since, he was the most favorite of the last game of the new guys. So then there has only been one eternal champion. Me! And he drops down, knocks him to pieces, and his hammer's on lightning. It's fucking great. By the way, there's another talking point today.
I want to talk about the game I'm playing right now.
Oh, what you playing?
Astroneer. I was going to wait until it went on sale, but like I've been watching Vinesauce's gameplay of it, and I just had to pick it up, and I've been hooked on it.
Isn't it the one you said was really cozy?
Yeah, it's like, because I have played No Man's Sky, and I just haven't really bothered with it since I picked it up. And, Astroneer is basically a really, really good version of No Man's Sky.
Can you go to other planets?
Yeah, but they're not, randomized or algorithm or whatever, like with No Man's Sky. Like, No Man's Sky has, 500 quintillion trillion planets or whatever. Astroneer only has, 5 or 6, and they're all crafted from the ground up.
Oh, that's good.
You can deform basically all of the planets, because it's all polygon surfaces, and you have a terrain deformer, so you can build bridges or platforms or giant decks or whatever. And it's really cool in that it kind of reminds me of Minecraft, where you just basically the goal is to gather resources, create printers and forges and
acquire minerals.
Yeah, acquire minerals. But yeah, exactly. And you build rockets and fly to the next planet to get the resources on there. Rinse, repeat, and it sounds I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, because if you want something it doesn't have enemies except for plants that shoot poison at you or whatever. There's not much combat. It's mostly about survival and exploration, and if only that doesn't if you're not only interested in exploration, then I wouldn't recommend it. But
I might pick it up. It sounds I like games that let you mess around.
Yeah, you get to mess around. I really like the aesthetic too, the sound design in particular. It's the way that all its mechanisms snap together with a little pop. It's kind of like a tin can pop.
I like really nice sounds.
Yeah, the sound design is great. One thing I hope that they fix is that they don't really seem to get spatial sound, because they're depending on where the camera is, you might hear something that's to the left of your character in your right speaker. So if you start to notice that a lot, then it gets annoying. Hopefully they'll be able to patch that. So
speaking of sounds, I just want to say my favorite thing about MK11 sound-wise is Shao Kahn has a move where he hits you with the hammer and lets go of it. And if they fall back right, it hits them right in the head with a boink noise. It's fucking hysterical to get boinked by Shao Kahn. I apologize.
It's fine.
You know what? Oh, did you hear about Outer Worlds being shown off?
Like the show gameplay?
Yeah, guess what? They showed gameplay about sound and they didn't show the story. They just went around killing people, apparently. I'm hoping that Outer Worlds good.
Yeah, like, I'm still not sold after watching the trailer.
I like the setting.
Yeah.
I like the idea of imperialism and capitalism destroying space.
Yeah, it's the humor that doesn't really sell me, because it seems too much like Borderlands. Like, not like too much like Borderlands. It doesn't really feel super memey, but it's like I'm gonna wait and see like what it's like.
There's a YouTube channel called Buy Rent Sale Never Touch It Again. I generally trust them. Me and them have similar taste in games. I also started playing Nier Automata again. Also, I found out a self-destruct thing is actually in the game, and
Yep.
Woo!
I heard that Yoko Taro, the director of Nier Automata, he actually said to his team, like, I want you to make her ass as high quality as possible, or you're all fired. So they put like as many like her ass is the most detailed object in the entire game. It actually has more polygons than there are polygons in the entirety of Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
The fuck? I'm sorry, but like I understand now, because I admit like I didn't know self-destruct did that, but I'm still rolling with it, and I found myself being distracted because it's a game that needs clever timing. Next thing you know, I'm being my ass handed to me, quite literally, by a giant. I like the robots; they're weirdly adorable.
Yeah.
I just got to the boss where it's a bunch of them and they start like clanging genitals, and it's that really disturbing scene that made me literally very uncomfortable. And then they fuse together and they shoot out a sperm baby.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I think that Nier Automata might be in my top 10 favorite games of all time.
Oh wow, I'm still playing it. I'm alternating between that and Mortal Kombat. The most different games you can possibly get, totally.
Yeah, I still need to go back and finish Persona 5. I'm still left off at the exact same place that I told you about like months ago.
It's a game that like I really appreciate. Persona 5. I appreciate it so much because I actually got I was crying. I was crying by the end. Because I thought I got the bad ending. Oh. And that's all I'm going to tell you, because I realized,
Okay. Yeah, like, that's another good example of a game that, like, should be bad, but the aesthetic saves it. Actually, no. I would say that the gameplay is...
In
like,
5?
It's, like, well, yeah, like, the idea of somebody who... Like, because I've heard of people who hate turn-based combat, but they still love Persona 5. So, like, that's kind of what makes me think of aesthetics that save a game.
I wouldn't even call it turn-based. It's so quick.
Yeah.
It's just snap. Like, the thing is, the game isn't oozing with style. It's got an ooze cannon of style that's shooting. It's a fire hydrant of style, and it's insanely memeable.
Yeah. Let's see, what other games are on my mind lately?
I'm sorry, I've been listening to Jesus Christ Superstar, and there's a song called Heaven on My Mind, and that's playing in my head now. Video games on my mind.
Yeah. I guess we can take a detour from video games and talk about another 10-year or 20-year anniversary thing. It's the 20th anniversary of The Matrix. I think that came out in summer of '99. So, like, we're approaching the 20th anniversary.
You know, Matrix is a film that I like and dislike on equal measures.
Yeah, I think that the older I get, the less I like it.
I'm going to use Persona 5 as an example. Persona 5 is stylish substance. But Matrix always struck me as more style over substance.
The style is the substance, in a way. Especially with the sequels.
Yeah, I hate the sequels.
Yeah.
The only reason I watched them was the black dude whose name is escaping me.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, Fishburne's my favorite part of the fucking franchise.
Yeah, Morpheus is Like he's like a lot of stuff from that movie, like the first one especially, it still gets put in pop culture references to this day.
And the most iconic fucking hand gesture ever.
I mean, yeah, like, are you red pilled or blue pilled?
I fucking hate that they gave people red pill, blue pill, black pill.
Nah.
Personally, they need the middle finger pill, and I apologize.
Have you heard of the dog pill?
The what?
Like,
the meme?
Or I've heard of, like, just this morning I saw this article, like, where it's like, and I don't know how truthful this is. It might be true. I'm willing to believe it's true. But like women who, instead of going into a relationship with men, they have a dog who, like, becomes their go-to when it comes to getting the goods. Because the idea is that, like, they treat, like, the dog as, like, a more loyal thing than the man, and that, I don't know. Like, I don't know how.
What in the fuck is wrong with our species?
Yeah, and like the article was talking about how it sucks that, like, men are now valued less than dogs or whatever. And
I'm sorry, it's making me think of Fallout New Vegas. Sometimes you just wish for a nuclear winter.
Yeah, we can't expect God to do all the work.
It fucking makes sense that every single villain in the last 10 years wants to reset time and history. Mm-hmm. Thanos, Chronica.
What's weird is that I first thought of Father Pucci from JoJo's Part 6, but that was written in, like, the 90s.
God. You know, I need to watch JoJo's because apparently there's a fucking JoJo's reference in MK11 involving Jax.
Well, I believe it. I mean,
there's a fucking thing. I'm sorry, I'm sorry to go back for Noob Saibot, the scary black ninja. He mentions fucking Voldemort by, he who shall not be named. And he says, I'll send you back to Death's Hollow. Mm-hmm. And then they have a fucking item called the Philosopher's Stone as an augment form. I'm sorry, Ed Boon needs to get his shit out of my game.
Next thing you know, he's gonna say that, like, all the characters in Mortal Kombat 11, including you, are gay.
Okay, if there's one character that's gay, I bet it's Shao Kahn. He's just like, what armor will I wear today? It must show off my thighs, my chest, my nipples, and my arms.
It's funny you mention JoJo's in fighting games, because actually, like, a lot of the characters in Street Fighter are based on JoJo's characters. Like, Juri is actually based on Jolene from Part 6. Guile is based off of von Stroheim from Part 2. There's a few others.
I'm sorry, I've never realized how similar the aesthetics are. Mm-hmm. Like, everyone is vaguely manly.
Yeah, and, like, it's funny because, well, JoJo's, like, the characters get progressively more and more effeminate with each part.
God. I'm sorry, the thing about Street Fighter, real quick, I could never get into it. The art style was always a bit strange to me.
Really?
And then the gameplay, where I'm talking about earlier ones, when you get to the free ones, I have trouble with some combos. Mm-hmm. If I pull off a 6-hit combo in a fighting game, I smoke a cigarette. I don't smoke, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah. It's funny you mention that because I remember playing. I think there was an arcade cabinet of Street Fighter 2 in one of the movie theaters I went to. This was back in the 90s, and, like, I remember playing a game against a computer, getting my ass kicked. But I think, yeah, it was Chun-Li. Oh. And I was like, I got beat by a girl. And then at the same time, I had a boner. So.
I still like most of the characters. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, fucking Zangief. I want Zangief in Smash. I want him instead of Ken. Just like Zangief walking there. Do you know that in the actual fucking lore of... I do look on wikis of some stuff I'm vaguely interested in. Mm-hmm. He fucking trained Siberian bears how to wrestle. Mm-hmm. I want him to fucking, like, look to Bowser and go, look, a new target!
I'd love to see crossover with Team Fortress. Or, like, have the characters in Team Fortress in Street Fighter.
No, it'd have to be having goes, my son! Mm-hmm. My father! And they walk over and they do the fucking mamushka dance with knives. Uh-huh. Russian characters are always the most entertaining if they're the odd one out, if you notice.
Yeah. No, I heard that there was, like, a Russian version of, like, Reddit. Like, it went offline. So now all the Russians are going onto Reddit. They're migrating. So now we're going to start seeing
the Great Cossack Hordes.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was called. It was, like, Yapper or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like, I fucking love it when, like, a really localized group of people in the internet from another culture go onto the wide stream. The internet's like the fucking xenomorphs. It assimilates and distills new variations that mix together what it already is with a new thing.
Yeah, The Matrix. I remember I had an idea for like a reboot. Like how do you go about that?
You know what I think would be interesting? A story following one of the agents who kind of goes rogue. Like some defect.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what happened in the sequels with Smith, but like in a bad way. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think there was like an anime, like one of the segments on the Animatrix was kind of like that, where they like capture a robot and like make it like change its mind to be human-like or like.
Was the Animatrix good?
There were some good parts to it.
I have a mouse pad. I had to get rid of it after the dog chewed it to pieces. Damn it! But like this mouse pad was the Animatrix, and all I remember for years was looking at the guy with the samurai mask. Wasn't there a samurai in there? And just looking at it. By the way, that fucking movie is anime as shit, The Matrix.
Yeah, I mean, the Wachowskis originally wanted to do when they were pitching The Matrix, they just showed clips from Ghost in the Shell. And they were like, we want to make something like that. And they did.
Little did they know.
Yeah.
Do you think they got fucking mad when Ghost in the Shell got made as a movie?
I don't know. They wouldn't really have any room to argue, seeing as this was after they did fucking Jupiter Ascending.
Oh, fuck. Fuck you for making... What happened to them?
Well, like they...
I know that the one of them is a Wachowski yet.
I mean, both of them are now.
Oh, both are?
Yeah.
Well, now it's Wachowski sisters. Well, props to them, I guess.
Sure.
I don't know what the fuck. But what the fuck happened to their movies? Jupiter Ascending is fucking horseshit. It is dog shit of an unparalleled degree.
Well, the thing is, what happened was that they were given more creative freedom. With the first Matrix movie, they had to like answer to the producer and like editors and people who were like, "No, you can't do that. We have to make it more cohesive." And with Jupiter Ascending, and I think Cloud Atlas was pretty terrible too. And like they were like, "Oh, we're just gonna do whatever we want. We're free spirits." And
I have a question.
The movie turns out like shit.
What do you think of my theory that the best creators are the ones that know exactly where they can cross? And that's where you get the best stuff. Like, they see the limit. They see the edge that they can't cross.
I would say...
I hate saying it like that, but at the same time, it's starting to look more and more good.
Well, I would say almost the opposites. Is that like you also get some really good stuff by people who push the boundaries.
I see.
So I guess like it would be somewhere like you have to know where the boundaries are and know how to push it just far enough.
Yeah, it's like playing a game of skee ball.
And then there's some people who like get it completely on accident. They just push as far as they can in one direction, and then you end up with a cult following, and then over time. But like for immediate results, you want to like toe that line, I think.
To be honest, I like cult films. Cult films are always, they got something special.
Yeah, I actually saw it was another review or like retrospective of the Fred movie. And the guy, like just like the last one, they always do this, is that they gloss over that one scene with Fred in the bathtub where he has the bacon taped on the wall, and they never mention that that's a reference to Gummo, and that always like ticks me off.
Gummo?
Gummo. It's this independent film that's like really fucking weird. It's about all these like weirdos living in this shitty town in the middle of Ohio that was like destroyed by a tornado. And it's basically, I think I've mentioned this before.
I've never heard of this. I know what I'm being.
No, I've told you about this before. It's kind of like a Mad Max movie, but based around like the psychos living out in the desert.
Oh God!
So like the first scene is like this teenager drowning a cat in a barrel of water, and like the idea is that this kid and his brother, they sell these dead cats to the butcher, and like you start seeing like all these like really weird people living in this town. There's a scene with like a bunch of these people who are just released from prison. They're all in this this kitchen of this house, and they're all like just beating the shit out of this folding chair. And it's like, and there's another scene where one of the kids, like the character's mom, is just tap dancing in like their basement that's just full of garbage. just like all this. It's basically a sideshow, like all these like scenes back to back.
I need to watch it now.
It's here at the library. I would recommend checking it out. I remember like recommending it to Rick, and he just like I asked him like, well, "What'd you think?" And he says like, "I watched the first 10 minutes. It's evil."
God, I need to watch it.
Like, I like that was his like only description of the movie was evil.
Think of like Mad Max, how that kind of shit would be the norm for a while. Because I believe that if there was ever a major tragedy, like, nuclear bombing, sun shoots out a dragon or whatever, you would get two possible alternatives to a group. Either all of the fucking weirdos get thrown to the wolves, or all the weirdos become the wolves. Oh wait, that's already happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, speaking of weird cool things, I saw a really interesting FMV game. It was called Bad Mojo.
I think I've heard of that.
It's a retelling of Kafka's The Metamorphosis, but it's also you get turned into a cockroach and you find out this. You know if I spoil the plot, basically?
Actually, I saw Vinesauce stream this, so yeah, I think I know what's going on.
Yeah, so like it turns out the dude's his dad and it burned out. I fucking love that. I watched a review of it that's basically a Let's Play. I want to make a fucking like spiritual successor to that. That was that good. And I also like riddle talk, like run from the fire and not the flames, Fucking Todd Howard will sell you his game.
I saw somebody drew a portrait of Todd Howard and they used a Photoshop brush that it's textured to say "Buy Skyrim," so they just drew a picture of him using the "Buy Skyrim" brush.
So I fucking had a dream with Todd Howard in it. It's one of my first celebrity dreams. I hope it's the only one. I was, things were going right, then the house caught on fire, I was outside, turned around, and just Todd Howard walked from the burning house holding a hatchet. And that's all I remember from the dream, is fucking Todd Howard burning down my house.
Then you wake up, you're on a cart, somebody looks at you, he says, "Hey, are you trying to cross
I
the
want a
board?"
mod that makes him into Alduin. That's the flying Todd Howard who just breathes fire, with the fire that says Skyrim.
You ever had dreams where like it's a commercial where somebody's trying to sell you something?
I had a dream where I was playing a game that I was interested in, and it was me playing fucking Shadow of War.
I mean, like somebody's trying to sell you like a silverware set or like toothpaste or something.
No, but I used to have dreams where I would just see hyenas and like out. No, I had this. I was. So you've been to the house, that there's that sun window, right? I used to have nightmares about a hyena who would hide up there and call me over. And it was a photorealistic hyena, except it had like gouged out eyes. I was fucking 10 and dreamt of that thing.
If only Reddit was around that when you were that age, could have posted that on the No Sleep sub. Yeah, nah.
Now I'm gonna have to fucking write about the hyena with no eyes. Yeah, like. No, one time I had a thing, I kept falling in and out of dreams to the point, like, I woke up, fell asleep, but I was dreaming every time in between, and I started having weird fucking nightmares and weird, like, I didn't know what was a dream, what wasn't a dream till about 12 o'clock, till I got up, jumped around, cut myself with a dagger to make sure I'm real, use the blood to write the Necronomicon, but, like, fuck. Freddy Krueger must be a fucking asshole.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I just don't get nightmares anymore.
I don't get nightmares as much as I get fucking bizarre dreams.
Yeah, I'll have like weird, messed up dreams, but I'll wake up not really feeling scared. I'll just be like, "Oh, that was weird."
Well,
like there would be like I remember there was one dream I had where I was being chased by a zombie. I was like looking back and I'm like, this doesn't really make any sense. Why is the zombie running? It should be walking. Or maybe it's like blah blah blah. Maybe I'm just going through like all the scenarios and like looking at it from the perspective of a writer.
Do you know what I used to have nightmares about? A pig in a dress.
Really?
No, it's a photorealistic dress, but it has hooves and a pig head, and it would always stand in the corner. I could tell it was on because I couldn't turn off electronics when it was in the room. That was fucking bizarre as a kid. That was like, I apologize, that probably just peaked because I'm reliving 25 years.
No, I think it's fine.
Yeah, like, fucking pigs in the dress are terrifying if you think about it.
Yeah, because it's your mom. Ha ha ha.
Okay, the hyena and the pig in the dress need to fight Freddy versus Jason style.
Speaking of movies, I was watching another YouTube review. This one was of this Netflix movie with, similar to Captain Marvel, it had Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson, and it's also terrible. It's called The Unicorn Store. I don't know if you've heard of this.
I don't need to watch it now if I know it's called The Unicorn Store.
Yeah.
What's it about?
Well, it's about Brie Larson plays this failed art school student who is living with her parents, and like when all of a sudden like gets a dream or like a phone call from Samuel L. Jackson, who plays like the quirky mentor type, who's basically just completely like cast opposite of what he's usually cast as. And like he tells her to like buy a unicorn or something, and that like gives her a list of rules, like like move into an apartment, get a job or something. And she fails at all that stuff, but she still gets the unicorn. And she's like, oh no, I don't want this. I want this to be like for someone else. I'll just be so generous that I'll give this away to a girl who really needs it. And then it's like, and then the movie ends.
And that girl comes and says, look what the fuck? And it stabs the mother, and the unicorn has Samuel L. Jackson's voice. I am the Dark Lord Samuel. And the horn turns into a chainsaw. And
then everybody on the bus clapped. And that bus's name, Albert Einstein.
God.
But they had like that review. It's funny because they inserted that voice clip of his that you love, where he's from Kong, where he's like, "Bitch, please."
I know, that's the fucking best Samuel L. Jackson movie, but it's not Marvel, because in Marvel he is just Nick Fury.
Yeah. But yeah, also that review mentioned Back to the Future, and that just made me want to watch Back to the Future again. I would say that Back to the Future is in my top 5 all-time favorite movies. It's just such a well-structured movie, like a lot of movies from the 80s. You
really don't think about structure until it's either really good or really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw that movie something Ship of a Thousand Cities or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was a sci-fi movie based on a French comic. That fucking movie must have had 12 acts.
Mm-hmm.
I was like you couldn't tell where you were in the fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
Things would happen with no bearing on the plot. Like, look, there's these big fat Slav aliens. Look, there's Rihanna as a shape-shifting tentacle porn.
Yeah. Now you have my attention.
Yeah. No, it wasn't good. It was
yeah. I mean, like I said before we started recording, 3D PD.
Does 3D animation count as 3D?
I would if it's based on a real person, yes. If not, then you're good.
I don't know. What's a really, really good movie that I haven't really thought about in a while? I decided to rewatch the first Mortal Kombat movie for obvious fucking reasons, and it turned out it kind of holds up in the best bad way possible. Mm-hmm. And then you watch the sequel, Annihilation. I saw that before I went to the GameStop to pick it up, and yes, I fucking pre-ordered the game. Mm-hmm. And I'm there, and have you ever seen Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
I remember seeing the clip of too bad, you will die. I just remember that.
Yeah, my favorite fucking thing is Shao Kahn was fucking 6 foot. Mm-hmm. He was so short, apparently, they had to build hidden things in the floor to make him look tall.
Mm-hmm. I also remember Johnny Cage dies in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And everybody was upset about that.
Oh man, I like Johnny Cage, and then you play the games, and until the new timeline, he didn't fucking do shit in the plot. It's like, oh no, Shao Kahn has cheated and summoned the Dragon Lord, Dick Knob. And you cut over, and Johnny Cage's like, hey, I'm making another movie. Y'all want me to punch Baraka again? There is at least one good thing about bad movies. Mm-hmm. Really bad acting can sometimes cheer you up.
Yeah. Too bad, you line
will die. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm screaming in the mic, but I still can't get over how bad an actor Ronda Rousey is. She's flatter than her character model. Yeah, that's a bit of a low blow.
Yeah, I mean, she took so many blows to the head. I think that's probably why.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel bad for WWE actors. Except for The Rock. The Rock somehow, I like to believe The Rock, when he punches somebody, he drains them of their mental acuity.
So, Hulk Hogan also has some pretty funny acting.
Maybe Hulk Hogan. Do you think he should be in movies again?
It would be. I think they should do like an Expendables, but with WWE wrestlers.
They need to have Jim Cornette on that. Jim Cornette's like, he needs to be the bad guy. Apparently,
no, it would be what's his
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon, yeah.
Can't tell my favorite Jim Cornette story is apparently he was feuding with this guy who ran his own promotion in the same town. And it turned out that guy had one of his men join Jim Cornette's group. And when he found out, Jim Cornette walked out, and he was in his car when the guy told him, hey, I'm working for the other dude. Guy got honest with him. Jim got out there, closed the car door, gave it 24 football kicks to the door, looked at him and says, that's my fucking car. I don't care about my car. What the fuck do you think I will do to you, motherfucker? And he chased the guy. Also, then when he was trying to actually get the guy, he got pepper sprayed in the eyes while driving, one eye. So he backed up onto the busiest street in Tennessee, chasing this guy wearing a yellow jumpsuit through traffic. I would pay to see a Jim Cornette biography. Because, he sounds like he might be making this shit up, but no, he'll pull out papers, he'll pull out lawsuits.
What else did you want to talk about? We got a lot of time to fill.
Oh, yeah. What seems to be the next cult movie?
Ooh, like what?
Like a movie that's so bad in a couple of years it'll start getting circulated again.
Well, it's hard to tell now because the first thing I think of is the Neil Breen movies, but those are already making the rounds.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, the next cult movie hasn't been released yet. And, like, if it was, then I'd already know about it. Because I'm into all these YouTube channels that discuss stuff like this. And I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see.
Do you ever hear about that Will Smith movie, something like Terminal Happiness? It was about he has a dead daughter. And so one of his coworkers apparently hires people named Death, Love, and Time to try and convince him that he needs to stop crying over his daughter. But it turns out they actually are Death, Time, and Happiness. And it's all about dead children. Like, every character has a dead kid. And apparently Will Smith, acted his fucking eyes out. He tried as hard as he could to sell this movie. He was selling like an old-time wrestler. And it did dick because it was awful. So you were in Undertale, no, not Undertale, Homestuck.
No, this isn't either
of
fuck. Those. This is Diesel Sweeties.
Oh.
I got this because this was a couple of years. I think it was around 5 years.
I mix the shirts up.
This is like a 5-year-old shirt because I bought this for one Halloween. I was going to dress up and I did a photo shoot at home, because I just bought my my camera. The one that we used for the last episode, or one of the episodes, whatever. Yeah. But it was because Scott Pilgrim wears this shirt in the movie, and it was the costume I came up with was a mashup between Scott Pilgrim and Shaun of the Dead, because Edgar Wright directed both of those movies.
I would fucking watch that crossover. Shaun of the Dead is is it an underappreciated movie thing?
I don't know if it's I think it's appreciated as much as it
should be.
Yes, it should be.
I remember watching that movie when I was really young and fucking adoring it. Didn't Edgar Wright do a cop movie?
Yeah, that was Hot Fuzz.
Is that good?
Yeah.
I really like what I've seen. I'm bad with director names.
Yeah, I've seen Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. I haven't seen at World's End, or is that what it's called? I don't know.
The pirate movie?
No, no, it's the one where they're fighting aliens.
Oh, I need to see that.
I think it's just World's End or something.
You know what I like?
That's the third movie in the Cornetto trilogy. Oh, as it's called.
Have you ever seen when they remake a movie for the American and the British audience? Have you seen Attack of the Block?
Yeah.
Or have you seen the British one?
Well, there's only one. There's only the British.
I thought. There's an American version apparently.
There is?
Yeah, with fucking wasn't it Jim Carrey? Not Jim Carrey. Some fucking has-been actors like that, where there are a bunch of cops trying to fight the monsters.
I haven't heard this at all.
I fucking heard of it. I think I've seen part of it and walked out because it was not the movie, but on TV. Yeah. What the fuck? I love when they. Have you ever heard of the original Nier game?
Yeah.
Do you know how they localized it?
Remind me.
In the Japanese, you play you're basically an anime boy and his sister.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And in the American, you're a fucking gigantic dad.
Or there was, I think there were actually 2 Nier games, and there was Nier Gestalt and Nier something. Like,
I'm talking about the one before Automata.
Yeah, I know, and there were 2 Nier games, and like both of those were released in Japan, and the one with the big muscle guy was the only one released in America.
No, but that one in Japan, he's not the playable character. He's
I know.
Not even in the. Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought that those were 2 different games.
No, they're the same game. They're the same story. They just change the dialogue so it's that they're the brother and and the thing. Yeah, that's fucking interesting to me.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be right about that.
Yeah, I was reading about that. It's like, also, the director of like Nier Automata and Nier and the other games in the series is like fucking nuts.
Yeah, and Yoko Taro. Yeah, like I remember, I actually saw recently this guy posted on Twitter saying, oh man, I love Nier Automata. 2B is so hot. And then Yoko Taro actually replied to him. He's like, I don't like Chads. It's like getting into our games or something like that.
I'm sorry.
If there's anyone I don't like fawning over 2B, it's Chad.
Also, like, so there's some developers who, when they make a female character, they see it like their daughter. Can you imagine, like, wow, I really like 2B. She's like a daughter to me. Next thing you know, no, Yoko Taro is cool with it. But, like, apparently one of the Tomb Raider people got angry. Everyone's jacking off to Lara Croft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, I remember, like there was also another interview with him where they're saying, what made you want to make these dress these female characters in skimpy maid outfits? And he's like, because it's hot, or something like that. Where he's like, I just like seeing scantily clad women in my video games.
God,
I'm like, yeah, sure.
He's honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had the idea of, if there needs to be a guy to make a Kojima game, it has to probably be Guillermo del Toro.
Mm-hmm.
Or either him doing. I'm not.
You mean a movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guillermo del Toro needs to do more games.
I mean, he is going to be in Death Stranding, right?
Yeah, he was also going to direct the Silent Hill game, or the PT demo as part of it.
Silent Hills.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm fucking angry at Konami for that.
Wouldn't it be fucked up if Konami turned PT into a pachinko game?
Like, I'm sorry, this picture, like, uh-oh, you found the dead fetus baby. I want more light gun games.
Yeah.
I want a light gun Doom game.
Yeah, with VR, I can see. I mean, those basically are VR games. Basically, are light gun games.
Oh man, I remember watching this. I used to go to this arcade, and I remember this one guy was playing he was fucking playing House of the Dead, and he put both player 1 and player 2 in there, and he was fucking like going akimbo. He would reload by. It scared me. He was a school shooter in the making. God, I remember one time I was playing Fallout 4, and my mom got really upset. No, it was Fallout 3. Mm-hmm. And my mom got upset, like, why the fuck is there a scope on his revolver? Because, and she got really mad at that.
Huh.
And it's kind of fun because my mom used to run gun and knife shows. She fucking loves stuff like that.
I was meaning to, like, I'm hoping that Fallout 76 goes free to play, because I'd really like to play it. I just don't want to shell out like $40 for it.
You know what they ought to do? Make the premium version you can play as ghouls.
Yeah, like if they ever release like a Game of the Year, that would be funny if they just called it Game of the Year edition. And just to give the middle finger to everybody.
We call it Game of the Year and then put the year it said in.
Oh yeah, Game of the Year was 2090 or something. It's like 25 years after like the
Great War.
Judgment Day or whatever.
By the way, you know that Fallout 4 has a thing called the Tranquil Sea Conflict, where they're the fucking war on the moon. Mm-hmm. Really? I want a game about that. I want a pre-war game where you play as a brotherhood, like when they're, like the fucking Tranquil Sea War.
Yeah, like because I remember that was probably one of the most interesting DLCs was Operation Anchorage.
Yeah, I preferred the Pit out of those ones, but I also really like Raiders. Mm-hmm. Did Zach, or crap, I didn't mean to call him that by name, but I'm just going to say, Zach was playing Nuka World, and he named his character Vicky. And remember what they call up a character? Vic.
God. Wasn't, Yeah, is Nuka World like where you play as a different character?
No, Nuka World, you play as yourself. You just become a member of these raiders.
Ah, okay. Because that's my least favorite part of Fallout 4 is the main character. Or like the story is probably like my least favorite part.
I play a mod that lets you skip the story, basically.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you still got to interact. I mean, does it still keep the main campaign, though?
Kind of, but
Okay.
you don't have to do that. I'll do like a let's play channel, not a let's play channel, but like I want to play as a character, but I'm going to roll up my stats ahead of time, or I'm going to play as a chem dealer, and I can only make cap through dealing drugs.
That's why I think I'd like Fallout 76 more than Fallout 4. Just because it cuts out or like it just makes you a nobody, just like in Fallout or New Vegas.
Yep. The game was rigged from the start. Can you say that to Benny?
I don't think so.
Oh, that would be fucking great if that's what you say when you seduce him.
I remember, or it's the part where you confront Mr. House, and like I remember, like it's a part you click on the button that makes him like slowly come out, but you get the option to talk to him before he comes out all the way. So like if you talk to him before, he just goes like, zip, and he's like, oh, what did you do?
Do you know the thing is, I like. Oh man, I love playing low intelligence in some Fallout games.
Yeah, like isn't it in New Vegas where you wake up and like the only dialogue option you get is brain hurdy.
No, my favorite one was in 2. There's another guy who has like 1 intelligence, and that's how he talks. But if you have a similar low intelligence, you go, "My brotherly gentleman, how are you doing on this fine day, my dear lad?" And it's kind of amazing. They should put that in 76. But if you put low intelligence, all you hear is Todd Howard screaming into the microphone. You know he's reveling in these memes.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the last E3 presentation, you mentioned something like, sometimes it doesn't just work.
Have you ever seen the movie Coco, the Pixar film?
I haven't seen it, no.
One of the ideas of it is that a person, it's like if someone forgets who you are, you die forever. Todd Howard is immortal. He is god of the afterlife. Oh my god, we're in the soul car and run!
I saw that Reggie has started his own Twitter.
Oh my.
Yeah, he was posting his pictures of him cleaning out his desk. And now, I haven't been following him, but he's just from time to time he posts on there. So yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm sad, Reggie.
He's not dead.
I know, but we won't be seeing him as often.
Yeah, I
hope he still shows up to the events though.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
What they should do is they should have him attack the Bowser guy dressed as Mario. God, picture Reggie dressed as Mario.
Yeah, I can see that.
Kind of. He needs a mustache, and it's about it.
Maybe he'd be dressed as a purple Pikmin.
Oh, my. Purple Pikmin are the best fucking Pikmin in the franchise. They took them out of Pikmin 3. Huh. Pikmin 3 is a betrayal on many accounts. I didn't even... There needs to be a Pikmin 4, but you need to have like 20 species of Pikmin. Have so many Pikmin, you're it's like fucking Shadow of War. They'll betray you and attack you in armies.
Just the other day, I was thinking about really old Flash games. I remember going on Shockwave.com. So this is really showing my age. This was right at the turn of the millenniums, where it's like you had Adobe Shockwave, which was the software you made browser games with. So you had not many people are gonna know what I'm talking about, but there were a bunch of actually kind of Flash game franchises like DJ Foo and Tamale Loco.
Was Santa Bowling on there?
I think so, yeah.
Elf
Bowling, and that actually, which got ported to the Game Boy Advance.
And you even made a movie off of it?
I think I remember hearing about it.
With Tom fucking Kenny in it?
Huh. I mean, when I hear about voice actors taking up weird movie roles, and it doesn't really surprise me. Yeah. It's with voice actors, and even some Hollywood actors, they just want work.
Yeah, I'm not dissing them.
Yeah.
There's only one actor I'll ever shame. I will fucking shame Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. Tom Kenny was also in The Animatrix.
Oh my! I need to watch that now. I keep saying, "Oh my!" I apologize for that transgression.
What's your favorite Studio Ghibli movie?
Fuck! Now it used to be Spirited Away. You changed that when you took me to see Nausicaa.
Yeah, I think mine might be Nausicaa.
It's fucking God Warrior, something that will stick to me for a long time with him. It's a fucking angel.
Yeah, I mean, like, it wasn't animated by Hideki Anno.
I know, that's like, and you know, the fucking like, I want there to be a game where you can play as a God Warrior.
Well, there was I know Nakey Jakey did he like a while back he made a video, like a proposal for a Nausicaa video game. You know, like that's the first thing I thought of when seeing her like fly around on the glider. It would be awesome to do that.
What would be cool is if you could play as characters from different kingdoms and settlements.
Oh yeah.
And oh my god, I don't remember anyone's name, but do you remember fucking Patrick Stewart's character?
Yeah, it was Lord Yupa.
Yupa was fucking. I remember I sat down, I looked next to you, and fucking in the span of 10 minutes, there was Claude Frollo's actor, whose name escapes me. There was Patrick Stewart, and then there's fucking Sigourney Weaver.
I think no. She was in Mononoke. No, you're thinking of Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman. Then there's Uma Thurman. Then there's fucking Just Do It. What's
Shia
LaBeouf. I'm sorry, man, I'm skipping on all the names.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, remember when Uma Thurman's character Loki implies the bugs generally mutilated her?
Yeah. I mean, like, she could be just talking about, like, her stomach or, thighs or something.
True. I apologize for taking that direction. But it catches you off guard, that line.
Yeah. Maybe it was, like, her tits got bitten off.
Or no, maybe she's just around from the legs down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, she's a cyborg.
Mm-hmm. I mean, basically a steampunk cyborg.
God,
kind of.
Remember the bad guys? They were kind of awesome.
Mm-hmm. I'm still reading Apollo's song, Osamu Tezuka. It was making me think about how, like, he really did set the groundwork for basically all anime today. Like, you can still see a lot of influence from Astro Boy and, like, the really early stuff.
Have you seen that Astro Boy remake movie?
The one with Nicolas Cage in it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
You know, I found out how it kind of got made. It was Chinese, and it got brought over to America.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like, that movie was fucking strange.
Yeah, it
felt like a fever dream.
Well, I remember seeing like that guy with the glasses review. It wasn't Doug, but it was like one of the other contributors.
One of his wage slaves.
Yeah, or they don't even work for Channel Awesome though. Like that's the thing, is that they weren't actually paid. They just had a platform to host their stuff on. But yeah, I remember like seeing most of the movie through that, and like how it looks good, like almost good.
Yeah.
Like there's stuff in it that could work in a better movie, but it doesn't.
Yeah, like that fucking robot, the one they kind of built was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like
I want Nicolas Cage in Evangelion.
Oh, that would be neat. As him as Gendo.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the live action version. Yeah.
Oh my god. I just want to picture him doing like the fucking Nick Cage face thing when Yui is becoming the Unit 1.
Shinji, I need you to get in the robot. I don't really. If you don't do it, we need Ray to do it again.
God, and then you're like, oh man, I'm sorry, I'm just picturing that. Do you know who else would be a good cast in there? I want Samuel L. Jackson to be his like sidekick, Fiyusuke. Mm-hmm. Motherfucker, that's a motherfucking angel.
Or Yuga.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they get that. Like you said, like that. He was voiced by a black guy in End of Eva.
I'm sorry, but he has to wear whiteface when he does it. Or just digitally impose the anime face over his.
Mm-hmm. In terms of like, now it's just making me think of like who I'd cast for like the characters in Eva. I'd probably get like the kid from Stranger Things, Finn Wolfhard as Shinji.
Who would you have is Asuka and Rei?
They'd probably get some Disney Channel actresses.
Yeah.
I'm not really familiar with young actresses. I'm not a pedophile, so. I'm not Dan. I was just thinking about Dan Schneider the other day, and like how like
the Nickelodeon guy.
Yeah, and how nobody's busted him despite all this evidence suggesting that
and there was even fucking Hollywood guys like leaking stuff.
Yeah, you know, if you actually go to his website, they ask you like there's a pop-up that asks for your age, and it's like only porn sites do that.
I want to know who's watching me.
No, do you know who I would do with Fiyusuke? Ron Perlman.
Oh, who's that again?
He's the guy who follows Gendo.
No, I mean Ron Perlman.
Oh. God. He's the guy who plays every person under makeup or who has a large chin.
Uh-huh.
Crimson Chin is Ron Perlman.
Yeah. Huh. Oh, yeah. I can see that. Or Jay Leno. You know Jay Leno actually voiced the Crimson Chin in Fairly Odd Parents?
What?
Yeah, that's weird because, like, you know, like you always think of Jay Leno. Hey, how you doing? It's me, Jay Leno. But the Crimson Chin has such a manly voice.
Did you also know he's a cat in South Park?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, apparently. Also, I think Jerry Seinfeld voices a turkey.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Well, it looks like anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up?
Nothing much.
Okay. Well, this has been a pretty good episode, and I don't know what else to say other than I've been Tony.
I've been Zach.
And this has been The Monkey Bar.